I want to offer a distinction that I find clarifying in leadership coaching: the difference between perfectionism and the pursuit of excellence. Excellence is a process oriented approach. It asks, what does great work look like here? What do we need to get there? It's curious, collaborative, and developmentally focused. It celebrates progress. It can recognize when something is done and celebrate the wins. Perfectionism is outcome oriented, but the outcome is never fixed because the real function is to manage the inner critic's anxiety. Perfectionism asks, is this good enough yet? And the answer is almost always not quite. Here's a practical test I use with leaders. When a team member does solid, competent work, not extraordinary, but generally good, can you say so clearly, warmly, without immediately pivoting to what could be done better? If that sentence is difficult to say, and for many perfectionist leaders it is, that's the inner critic speaking, not you. The part of you that learned that praising good is the same as lowering the standard. It isn't. Recognizing good work clearly and specifically is what teaches people what excellence looks like. It's the most powerful developmental tool a leader has. And the inability to do it is not high standards, it's fear. Here's the third reflection. In the last month, when did someone on your team do genuinely solid work? And what did you actually say to them? Here are three concrete practices that you can take into the next week. So, practice one, the good enough audit. For 1 week, I want you to track the decisions you made that were driven by not quite right yet and identify what the cost was: time lost, energy spent, a team member's confidence deflated. This isn't about lowering standards. It's about seeing clearly what perfectionism is actually costing you and your team. Practice two, the first sentence rule. I want you to commit to a simple practice. The first sentence after someone shares their work will acknowledge something that is genuinely working, not performatively specifically. This opening section is clear and I see what you're arguing. Something like that. Or then something else that you can pick up and say, yes, that's good. Then you can go to the development. This isn't softness, it's precision. It teaches your team where the target is, and it builds a psychological safety that enables them to keep reaching for it. Practice three, ask for a 360. If you haven't received structured anonymous feedback from your team about your leadership style, now is the time to do it. And 360 is such a great way of doing this. The inner critic will rationalize anything you observe yourself. What it can't easily rationalize is what 30 people say about you in a validated assessment, especially when the pattern becomes very clear. The more people saying the same thing, the more validity there is. At Influence, this is the work that we do with leadership teams, not just identifying the gap, but creating structured support for closing it. Because the inner critic doesn't surrender to willpower, it surrenders to evidence, relationship, and sustained practice.